Hi, I'm Ivy from sunny California, and I have a confession. I have a serious obsession with making lists: to-do lists, shopping lists, goal lists, strengths and weaknesses lists. You name it, I've made a list for it. But what's at the very top of my life goals list? Becoming a veterinarian. But before I tell you more, please like this video and subscribe because who knows? Maybe a sparrow will land on your windowsill and sing you a song. Anyway, for as long as I can remember, I've loved animals. When I was 7, I went to the zoo and saw a beautiful wild cat in a cage. It looked so sad. "Mom, that cat's really unhappy. Sweetie, don't get too close." So, I did what any logical 7-year-old would do. I stole the zookeeper's keys and set the poor cat free. Yeah, I was banned from that zoo for life. Oops. Another time, I brought a stray cat and dog home. They were so happy they scratched up the couch, tore the curtains, and fun fact, made my brother's face swell up like a tomato. Turns out he's allergic to them. Fast forward to when I was 15. I was standing outside a store when a lady walked up to me and said, "Save the whales." Huh? Then she added, "Have you ever thought about acting? The camera would love you." Right then, my parents showed up grinning like they just won the lottery. Apparently that woman was a famous talent scout who had discovered a ton of teen stars. "Ivy, this could change your life," my parents said. But I told them, I don't want to be an actress. I want to be a vet till the extra money could help my family and maybe even pay for vet school. So, reluctantly, I signed with the agent. Suddenly, I was thrown into the world of auditions. I landed a few TV roles, then a couple in movies, until in junior year, I got invited to audition for a big film at a Hollywood studio opposite Roman, that heartthrob who had every girl in the decade swooning. I showed up to the audition in clothes covered in cat hair and smelling like dog. I went to the restroom to clean myself up, and guess who was there? Becky, the meanest girl in school. "What are you doing here?" She smirked. "I'm here to audition," she laughed. You'll never get the part. They're not looking for weirdos." I ignored her, did my audition, and then went to the park to feed the birds where one promptly pooped on my head. Lucky, right? The next day, Becky stormed up to me at school, fuming. "You cheated. You bribed them. There's no way you're better than me." Before she could attack, a teacher stepped in, and right at that moment, my phone rang. It was my agent. I got the part. My parents were ecstatic. Me? Not so much. A week later, I showed up on set, and that's when I saw Roman yelling at an assistant. I said, "Decaf coffee, you idiot." An hour later, he was screaming at the writer, "These lines are garbage. Fix them." But the worst. During a scene with a cute puppy, the dog licked his face and Roman freaked out. "Get this mud away from me." That was it. "You're a selfish, arrogant, spoiled brat." I said, "I'm not spoiled." "Do you even know who I am?" "Yeah, a whiny nobody. Your acting sucks. Your movies suck. And so do you. You can't talk to me like that." I just did. And guess what? I quit. My agent called me 10 times. I didn't pick up. Roman was the last actor I ever wanted to work with. A few nights later, I woke up to a noise. Someone was in my room. I tackled them to the ground and realized it was Roman. "What are you doing here?" I wanted to talk. "Ever heard of a phone about what you said? Did you mean it?" Every word. He sat on my bed, his eyes puppy dog sad. "Nobody tells me the truth. Everyone thinks I'm amazing, but I'm not. That's why I'm such a mess. I just want to be good. But I've never been to school. I don't know how to be normal." Then he pulled out a wig and makeup. From now on, I'm Rob. I'm going to your school. I want to live like a regular teenager. What? My manager already enrolled me and I want to stay here with you. You can afford a music mansion. Yeah, but I want something real. Then he said, help me fit in and I'll give you $1 million for vet school, for your animal shelter, for everything. I couldn't say no. That night, Roman slept on my floor. 5 a.m. I woke up to loud music. He was in the middle of my room working out with his personal trainer. Turn it off before my parents wake up. Later, I came downstairs. Roman was in the kitchen wearing an apron making pancakes. My mom said, "Honey, why didn't you tell us you had a boyfriend?" What? I nearly choked. Roman turned around, flashing his charming smile and holding a plate of golden pancakes. "And what a great cook he is," my mom added excitedly. I dragged him outside. "Why did you tell them you're my boyfriend?" "Because this way I can stay here without it being weird." Smart, right? That wasn't part of the deal. Well, what was your plan? Just friend? Yes, we're just friends. I've never had a girlfriend. Actually, I've never even had a real friend. And honestly, neither had I. School. Roman sat next to me in every class, even behind me. Whatever I did, he copied my posture, my pencil chewing, even how I walked. Stop it. People are staring. Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to blend in. He showed me his notebook. He'd completed all the exercises, even the future ones. How? I had a great tutor who learned most of this years ago. I mumbled. I'm terrible at math. He smiled. I'll help you. Really? It's no big deal. We started studying together. Then we started hanging out. The beach, the arcade, pizza places, and finally my favorite spot, the animal shelter. When we arrived, Roman froze. What's wrong? Dogs don't like me, not this one. And I brought out Mr. Buttercup, the friendliest dog ever. Roman hesitantly reached out, and Mr. Buttercup licked his hand. From that moment, they were inseparable. Days turned into weeks, and I got used to having Roman around. We talked more, laughed more. He didn't think my love for animals was weird. In fact, it seemed like that's why he liked me. One night, we were sitting on my roof staring at the stars. I said, "That's the Big Dipper, and that one's Orion." He said, "Orion? He reminds me of you." Why? Because he only appears in certain seasons. Like you, when you're around animals, you shine. There's this light in you. I think it's beautiful. I turned to him, surprised. The wind blew and I shivered. He put his arm around me, pulled me close, and kissed me. For a moment, it felt like a movie until I realized it was a movie. That line, it was straight out of one of his romantic films. I pulled away. This isn't a movie, Roman, and I'm not your girlfriend. Not now, not ever. After that, things got weird. He stopped sitting next to me. He still slept in my room, but on that side, and I stayed on this side. I felt bad for him. Maybe he really was changing. Maybe that kiss wasn't just an act. A few days later, I went to his locker about that night. It's fine. He cut me off. It wasn't part of the deal. I overstepped. I said, "You just surprised me. I wasn't expecting you to be kind or thoughtful. You're more than the role you play, Roman. You shouldn't hide that, and neither should you." Right then, Becky and her annoying boyfriend Milo showed up with their crew. Becky smirked. Well, well, who's this? No fur, no 4 legs. Tell the new guy, leave Ivy alone. She's a loser. Roman's face turned red. Don't talk about her like that again. Oh yeah, what are you gonna do? Milo shoved him. Roman shoved back, and suddenly a full-on fight. Teachers ran in to break it up, but in the chaos, Roman's wig fell off. Everyone gasped. Is that Roman? The Roman. Phones went up. Videos were recorded. Roman ran. The next day, the video was everywhere. It went viral. Milo's family sued Roman. Roman got fired from his movie. And worst of all, reporters found out I'd helped him hide. Paparazzi swarmed our house. Everyone online said I'd ruined Roman's career. I messaged him 1,000 times, called him, nothing. He disappeared. Weeks passed. Then the worst news came. His manager had stolen all his money and vanished. Roman was broke, jobless, alone. One night, I was working at the shelter when Mr. Buttercup started barking and pulling on his leash. I looked up and saw him. Roman, he said, I have nothing left, but we had a deal. I said, I can't take your money. He said, you don't understand. You changed me. Months went by. Roman and I worked at the animal shelter every day. Though we didn't have much money, the locals, after hearing our stories, started helping. Some brought food, others donated money, and some even volunteered. One day, an elderly man came to the shelter and said, I was a vet for years. Now I'm retired, but I miss it. If you'll have me, I'll help for free. I nearly cried. I turned to Roman and said, we're one step closer to our clinic. One weekend, we held a charity fair. Roman, dressed in a silly dog costume, played with kids and took pictures. People loved him, not because he was once a movie star, but because he was genuinely helping. That night, when we were all tired but happy, Roman sat beside me and said, you know, if I'd never gotten that role, if I'd never seen you at that audition, I might still be a selfish, aimless jerk. I smiled. And what are you now? Playfully, he said, still selfish, but with a purpose, and he wrapped his arms around me. Another night, on that same rooftop where we used to stargaze, Roman pulled out a small box from his pocket. What are you doing? I asked, surprised. Relax. It's not a wedding ring yet. It's just a promise. Inside was a simple ring with a small green stone. I promised to try every day to make a better world for animals with you and for us a simple real life. I took the ring, tears welling up in my eyes, and said, I promise too. And at that moment the sky was full of stars.